We're back, baby. Gotta get refreshed. I got a bunch of notes here, so this episode should be fun.
Thorn.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 2 of the App House podcast, hosted by me, Charles Fleischer. I am very, very excited to be here today. We got a good amount of things to talk about, and yes, as you can see, I have a new USB microphone, but I'm going to showcase that and a couple other things later. We also have a room tour that I'm going to be giving, since I know people are very, very curious about some things. And yeah, what you guys will see in the room tour is this kind of like new setup that I have to my bedroom slash office. I like to call it my office too, because it looks like an office as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's talk about some things. So what do we got here? I'm sure you guys are also. Oh yeah, so I'm sure you guys are a little bit curious of the recording software I use. It's called Riverside Studio. I just found it on Google. Um, you know, and I just tried it out for the first episode of the podcast, and it worked out really really well. It had great video quality, and I did use a mic because I didn't have one. But this time I have one for episode 2, and it's gonna be even better. With Riverside, there's also like a bunch of settings. You can like adjust the volume of the microphone, which is very useful. You can change the video quality from like 720 pixels to 1080, and something like that. You can change it to 4K, but I usually just stick with 1080. And yeah, it's been very, very useful to me so far. I've run a bunch of tests on there to see what works for me, and I guess I found the right one. So over the course of this week leading up to episode 2, so today is actually Saturday, and I'm recording on Saturday instead of Sunday because I'm not going to have any time to record on Sunday because I am visiting my grandparents. It's obviously Father's Day tomorrow, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there who work their asses off every day. And yeah, so today is Saturday, recording on Saturday. I'm not gonna have time on Sunday tomorrow because I'm visiting my grandparents. Okay, let's see. What my week was like. I'd say it was a pretty normal week. I did my best to to stay healthy. Eat healthy foods, just exercise every day. Just like even if it's just a walk. Yeah, I go for walks a lot, but what I like to do is I like to go to our track, our football field, and just run around the track for a bit. So what I kind of like my routine would be like I'm just kind of like starting again because I'm like kind of not in shape right now, but it's kind of like a reset. I'm doing like a mile around, just like a light jog, and then like a couple 100-yard sprints or like strides down the field, and then another mile light jog, and then more strides slash sprints, full 100 yards, and that's pretty much that for like the cardio part of it. And then I come home, kind of like eat lunch, um, rest my body a little bit, and then I do some weights. I have like this little spot in my basement where I have weights, and I just do whatever I feel. I do chest, I do back, I do shoulders. It's a vibe, and what's great is that I have adjustable weights. So there's like a setting. There's like this knob where you turn. It's like a specific weight setting, and I can go 10 pounds, I can go 30 pounds, and it can go as heavy as 50 pounds. That's heaviest as it goes. But it's been very very useful. We've had it for like 2 years now, and it's proven to be very useful for me over the years. That's the exercising part of me trying to get back in shape. Eating wise, I'd say it's pretty much been the same. Obviously, I try to eat a lot of protein. My dad always tells me just pound that protein every single day. So yeah, I try my best. I eat chicken, pork, steak, bacon, just kind of like the basic proteins. I made a TikTok like 3 weeks ago or something. It was like what I eat in a day, and I think I remember what it is. So for breakfast, it starts out with eggs. Starts out with scrambled eggs. I usually go with 3 eggs, but two or three eggs, depending on how I feel. But three is normally what I go with, especially if I'm like not going to eat for a majority of the day. Obviously, I have bacon as well. Absolutely love bacon, and I like it crispy. If the bacon is not crispy, sorry, I ain't eating it. But there are also times when I also eat granola sometimes too. Different flavors like grain, blueberry, uh, something like that, and it's really really good. And then for lunch, it honestly really depends because sometimes I'll have like a ham and cheese sandwich, ham with turkey, a hamburger, just or even sometimes I'll eat some of the chicken I have or steak or something like that. Lunch will probably differ every single day simply because there's just a wide variety for me of what I eat. But for dinner, I usually go with this meal every day, not every single day, but like every other day, I guess. It's I cook pasta, I grate Parmesan cheese, and then cook the pasta in garlic, and then put chicken and broccoli in it. Sometimes that broccoli can be green beans, sometimes that chicken can be steak, pork, and it can vary. So it's basically pasta with the meat and veggies. It's very very good. Obviously, I have garlic in there just to make it a little bit healthier, and Parmesan cheese, or it can be pecorino cheese for obviously a little bit healthier too. I wrote down here daily routine for the summer. Yeah, that's kind of like my daily routine this summer so far. It's been pretty boring. Haven't gotten the chance to really meet any friends. Ever since I've been home, I have not seen a lot of friends. I think I've seen maybe one friend in my time home here. Ever since I've been home from Louisiana, it's it's been pretty boring for me. But obviously, I'm adjusting to being lonely. Being lonely is something that I don't like, but at the same time, it's an opportunity for me to really grow myself and focus on things I love to do. What I've really liked doing recently is just really growing my social media because some people might see my account and offer me a job or something, offer me like a social media intern or a broadcasting intern or something like that. So I'm not always every single second on social media, but I'm on it a lot because obviously I want to grow it and hope people see it and offer me jobs. I am currently jobless right now, sadly, but I do have another job coming soon, but we're going to get to that in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. I've also been texting a lot of my friends to see if they want to be on this podcast, and a lot of them said they want to be. So look forward to some guests very soon. I know there won't be a guest on this episode, but look forward to some guests very soon. I feel like that'll be a way to really, really grow this and really get this podcast going, get a lot of traction for it, and yeah. Now, something I've also been doing this summer is picking up video games again, because just to buy the time a little bit. Obviously, I used to play a lot of video games when I was very, very young, but obviously haven't had the time to since obviously I've been in college. I used to have a Nintendo Wii when I was like a toddler, and then through middle school, then I got a Wii U. Loved it, and then the Nintendo Switch came around. Obviously bought that, and obviously I've had it ever since. It was like freshman year of high school when I really started playing it, and Super Smash Brothers was the game to play. It was a lot of fun. Obviously, played it with my friends a lot. If someone were to ask me what my favorite video game was, I would probably say Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I know it's only been out for like a year or so, but bro, it is a masterpiece and a half. All right, I'm going to explain to you guys why Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is my favorite video game. simply because, I mean, obviously I said it's a masterpiece, but it's so much more than that. It really just gives you like it really gives you such an opportunity to expand your creative mind, if you know what I mean. There's just an endless amount of things to do. I mean, there's an endless amount of things to build with the Zonai devices using the power hand ability or something like that. The reason why Tears of the Kingdom is so good because it just gives you so many options to succeed at the game, I guess. I can honestly go hours and hours talking about the game with someone that really knows a lot about it. But like when it first came out, I played it a lot throughout last summer, and then obviously I stopped playing it because I had school. But I just picked it up again like 3 weeks ago, and I'm slowly becoming obsessed again. The whole storyline concept is just so amazing. You know, Zelda disappears into the abyss, and then the Demon King uses like a puppet for her to you know fool Link in the Four Sages. Speaking of the sages, I honestly think that having the abilities of Tulin, Yunobo, Sidon and Riju are better than the post boss abilities of the Breath of the Wild, simply because they're NPCs. In Breath of the Wild, you're only fighting like enemies by yourself. Tears of the Kingdom, you're fighting enemies. It's like you and the four sages plus the fifth sage, Minoru. So it's basically like a gang of six fighters, five NPCs and you. So six versus however, and that gives you such an advantage because the NPCs are pretty effective. If I do say so myself, like NPCs have gotten some kills for me, and they're just so good. They're just so useful. Oh yeah, and one of my favorite concepts of Tears of the Kingdom is the diving. Oh my, it's just so satisfying when you're like so high up on top of the map and you just dive all the way down. It's just so cool and so satisfying. You can get like an insane view from up top of the Sky Islands and somewhere like that. Speaking of Sky Islands, like the reason why Tears of the Kingdom is so good is because there's obviously like three times more to explore or more because you have the main map and then not only do you have the main map, in that main map you have like caves, wells, something like that really weren't in Breath of the Wild, and that just gives you more options to explore, collect more things like bombs, arrows, something like that. Gems like sapphires and rubies. And then you have the sky map. I know there's not really too much with the Sky Island. There's just a bunch of shrines and some like soldier constructs you can fight to collect their stuff like energy wells and stuff like that. Oh, I mean, obviously the energy shops or something like that, you can put the energy wells in that machine, and then you can get Zonai devices from it. That's up there, and that's really good. But honestly, I think one of the coolest parts about Tears of the Kingdom in general is the depths. I mean, obviously, new to Tears of the Kingdom is the chasms, and then you go down those chasms and explore the depths. And oh my god, bro, let me tell you, sometimes Tears of the Kingdom feels like an actual horror game because exploring the depths is scary. It is scary as fuck. It's especially scary when like the light roots around you like aren't activated and you can't see anything, so you're forced to use the light bloom seeds and the giant light bloom seeds. But the reason why I say Tears of the Kingdom feels like a horror game sometimes is just it's just that you never know when something might just jump out immediately at you. Like sometimes in the main map at night you'll have, skeleton bokoblins just hop out of the ground and nowhere. Obviously there's no music either, and that makes it even scarier. And bro, don't even get me started with the Gloom Hands. That's probably like the scariest enemy in Zelda history. That if that's not like one of the scariest enemies in Legend of Zelda history, I just don't know what is. I'm sorry. And it's crazy because like fighting those hands is harder than fighting Phantom Ganon himself. Like obviously when you defeat the Gloom Hands and then you fight Phantom Ganon, Phantom Ganon is easier to fight than the Gloom Hands. Gloom Hands is just you have to kill 5 of those things. I mean, obviously they're grouped together, but you still have to kill 5 of them, and they're hard to kill as well. You need like you need a lot of bombs. You need a lot of bombs, and you can make your arrows into bomb arrows to kill them. Oh yeah, sorry. The power hand is actually called the Ultra Hand. My bad, guys. Speaking of the power hand, the abilities you get during the game, oh my, like Ultra Hand, Fuse, Recall, Ascend, and Auto Build, like later when you go down to fight Master Koga for the first time, I can't even imagine how much that has transformed the game in a way that you're really forced to use your creative mind. Like Ultra Hand, you can obviously build whatever you want. You can build like vehicles, you can build machines and stuff like that, like fighting machines to take on hordes of enemies and stuff like that. With the Fuse, it's really interesting because you have to like find the best combination. Find the best combination of what weapon to use and what material to use to, create the best weapon, like the highest attack weapon for this scenario. You know what I mean? Recall is recall. Recall is amazing. Can transfer, put something back in time, reverse it. I love doing that. Ascend. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ascend is something that I never would have expected in a Zelda game, and boy, I'm sure glad they have it because there are just no words for how good that ability is. You can go to literally like the highest places possible. It's crazy. And you can be in the ground like forever. You know what I mean? Overall, like the gameplay of Tears of the Kingdom is just phenomenal. Like obviously it's the same movement as Breath of the Wild, but obviously you have a lot more options, a lot more places to explore. I absolutely love the storyline of of the game. Obviously you have actual Ganondorf this time, which I think is really really awesome. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of questions about me asking, hey, what do you think of the final boss? I mean, I absolutely love the final boss. You fight Ganondorf, and then his health bar goes way to the end of the screen, and then you fight the demon dragon. Then that final cutscene. I think I cried. I think I cried watching that final cutscene for the first time. It is emotional. It is emotional, man. I did I cry? I think so. I don't remember honestly, but I think I cried when I watched that final cutscene for the first time. All that hard work paid off to defeat the Demon King. I just really, really hope Nintendo releases DLC for Tears of the Kingdom soon because Breath of the Wild had 2 packs. It's been a year. It's been over a year. Tears of the Kingdom has not had DLC yet. I mean, obviously, I would assume they're working on something, but obviously, they have a lot going on there too. So hopefully one day we get DLC for Tears of the Kingdom because we need it. Let's talk about traveling because traveling is something that I obviously love doing, but I haven't gotten the chance to. And really, the reason why I haven't gotten the chance to is simply money. Just haven't had enough money to go anywhere. But obviously, I'm trying to build that, go on vacation a little bit more, and just travel the world. Obviously, I want to travel the world, explore different places, try new foods. I've never been to Europe. I haven't been, somewhere like outside of North America besides the Bahamas. So yeah, traveling is something that I definitely want to do more, and hopefully I get the chance to. So the places I've been to Costa Rica. Costa Rica is probably my favorite vacation ever, simply because it was like a 2-part vacation. That it was like a jungle themed resort and like a beach themed resort, and both parts were absolutely phenomenal. I had the best time there. This was like 3-4 years ago, so it was a long time ago, but I still remember it to this day, and I won't forget it. I've been to Cancun twice. One side I was like kind of like the quiet side of Cancun, and then the second time was actually over this winter break. I went to like the more partier, more active side of Cancun, and we went to this beautiful hotel with a beach view at our window, and absolutely loved it. Also, I do have Cancun vlogs on my TikTok, so if you want to go check those out, you should. When I was like in middle school, I went to the Bahamas. I went to St. Thomas and St. John's, Virgin Islands, been to Nassau. Those were some of the best vacations of my life. I still remember those to this day. I still remember those to this day. When I was maybe 13 or 14, me, my brother, and mom went to Universal in Orlando, and oh my goodness, that was crazy. I mean, you had just these insane theme parks. I mean, the water park was probably my favorite. The Volcano Bay, the um, all those water slides and stuff like that. I spent hours there during my time during my time at Universal. I was obsessed with that park. And then obviously, like the main area of Universal, you had like multiple parts, and we spent a long time at those parts. It was awesome. Damn, I completely forgot to mention Miami. Miami is my favorite city in the U.S. I've been there three times, all with my family. But the next time I do want to go, either with friends, because I feel like it'll be. I feel like I'm at the age now where vacationing will be a lot better with my friends, and hopefully I can find some people someday that want to go to Miami for like a week. The reason why Miami is my favorite city in the U.S. is because I know people say it's kind of like New York City with a beach, but obviously you know that I'm all about nightlife, and the nightlife obviously is great, but the environment there is just spectacular. I visited all kinds of different shops there, been to many different restaurants, been to the beach, obviously. Love Miami, South Beach. I went to a Miami Heat game at the Casilla Center. It was pretty good. I mean, obviously it was kind of during the COVID year, so I couldn't get to really experience a full crowd. But maybe I'll go back there one day and experience a subpar crowd. Miami Heat crowds aren't really that good, besides in the playoffs. So yeah, I've yet to be at a nightclub in Miami, and really want to try that someday because I heard they're pretty fun. But yeah, Miami is such a vibe, and what's crazy is that my early decision, college, was actually the University of Miami, but unfortunately, I did get rejected by that. So we won't talk about that. But obviously, then I wouldn't have ended up at LSU, and I wouldn't have been, learning to be a broadcaster. So I mean, I guess that's the benefit of that. I do have a good amount of places on my travel bucket list, including Turks and Caicos, Aruba, more of like the beachy resort places and stuff like that. But the number one place I want to travel right now is Italy. And that would be my first time in Europe. Like if I were to go to Italy, that would be my first time in Europe. I've just seen. I mean, I've seen TikToks. One of my friends, the Golden Girls, is in Italy right now, and she's doing like a vlog on her private story. The reason why I want to go to Italy is because I've seen so many videos on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, and I'm just so intrigued. Like like I just sense the environment there is just otherworldly, and I feel like if I got a chance to go there, I would have the experience unlike any other. Like this person I follow on TikTok, like she said the Italy trip changed her life, which is wow. That's that's something else. So Italy, number one place I want to go to right now, and I heard they have the best Alfredo pasta there in the world. So excited about that. Okay, what we are going to do now is we're going to do a little TikTok shop showcase. So I bought a bunch of things from the TikTok shop for the very first time, and I'm going to show you guys what I got. I thought we'd do a little showcase. Now, what I tried to do yesterday was try to do a haul. Um, I tried to do a haul of me like opening the boxes and stuff like that. And what happened was I accidentally posted it without sound, and I didn't even realize, and I'm still kicking my ass for that. But I have the products right here. I'm going to show you guys. Also, unfortunately, I do not have the TikTok Shop app linked to my actual TikTok account, so we're going to have to sort that out soon. But here are the products I got. The first thing I got is literally right in front of me. This USB microphone I got on the TikTok Shop. Has this little stand here, and the best part about this is that it glows. It glows like you can see right here. It's crazy. And this is actually the first time I'm using this microphone, and hopefully the audio quality turns out well. Second item I got is this phone tripod thing. It's pretty stable. It like a oh, you like turn that knob to tighten it, but it adjusts like that, and then you can just like stick it on the ground like that. I tried using it. My phone, just put it in like that, and it's pretty stable. It works really well, and obviously I can use that for like cooking vlogs or something to maybe try it at a different angle or something like that. Next item I got was the famous Galaxy astronaut projector thing. This thing is so freaking cool, man. Light it up when a dark room creates like stars, a nebula. There's like a setting on the back right here. This is on, and there's like this is the nebula one, and this is the stars one. It's awesome. How about that? That's phenomenal. Really is true. Oh my gosh. Breathtaking, man. So the next item is actually in this box right here, but the reason why I'm not going to open it is because that is actually a birthday gift for one of my really, really good friends. Unfortunately, that person has not responded to me yet about whether that person wants the gift or not. So we're just going to leave it be, and then hopefully that person responds to me eventually wanting the gift, or if not, I'm just going to keep it for myself and hopefully give it out to someone else when the time comes. Next up is a fragrance from Nautical Voyage. This is actually the first ever fragrance I've ever gotten, and it smells amazing. I can just literally open it and smell it from here. It smells great. Definitely going to use this when I go out next time, maybe to the city or a bar or something like that. And then the last item is this just insane bubble machine gun, 132 holes. I think this is the 64 hole setting. I do have the 132 hole and a little bit of a smaller hole setting. It has like a bigger bubble and stuff like that. But I tried this out last night, and oh my goodness, I was absolutely blown away. Haha, get it. Oh my god. That's crazy. This is definitely something that I will, pass down to my kids because, the little kids, definitely are going to love this. But yeah, those are all the items I got from the TikTok shop. Honestly, I'm going to have to say it was very, very satisfying, even just the whole process of buying it, because I tried to pick items that had free shipping, and I was very, very fortunate to have that free shipping, and it costed less. Okay, what I'm going to do now is give you guys a room tour of my room. Now, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to show you the TikTok that I made that is basically the same thing, room tour, that I made a few days ago. And so I don't have to, record the whole thing again. So here is a tour of my room. I like to call it my office as well. I got a good amount of requests for a room tour, so I'm going to give you guys a room tour. And here we are. This is basically like my office part of the room. I just sit here, and then I just do all my work, stuff like that. It's just a bunch of old stuff right here. Trophies up top right there. These packages, I'm gonna showcase in another video, so look forward to that. Yeah. In here is my closet. It's just a bunch of clothes, so yeah. So this bear, I went to the Meadowlands State Fair last year, and I had to make two basketball shots from like around 3 point range, and I made both of them, and I won this. Crazy. Have some footballs here. This championship banner I actually got when I got this on the night when women's basketball hung their national championship banner in the PMAC, and I got like a mini replica of the banner. So that's pretty cool. Now, you guys had a lot of questions for this part of my wall, and if you look closely, not freaking bullet holes or anything like that. They're hockey stickers. When I was very, very young, I just had the desire to just put a bunch of hockey stickers on my wall and even on my door as well. And yeah, that's how it came to be. I'll probably remove some of these soon because I also have two other banners on the way. I have the 2023 Baseball National Championship, which I'll probably put right here. And then this year, Gymnastics Natty Banner, which I'll probably put over there. Yeah, not bullet holes, guys, not boogers. They're hockey stickers, which I've had on here for a very long time. So yeah. I like to call this room the bossiest room of all time. Cause it's like I just be sitting here, and then you can have someone just like walk in, and then I can just like have a meeting with them. It's like I'm their boss, something like that. You're fired, you're hired, something like that. Oh yeah, this poster. I don't remember where I got this, but I do love it. Oh yeah, and I also forgot about my Lego sets too. Oh, I need more Lego sets, man. I need more Lego sets badly. And then I also have an LED light strip right here. I haven't used it in so long since I've been away, but it still works. So yeah, that's my room. Hope y'all like it. Okay, let's talk about another thing that I've been doing a lot lately, and it's listening to a lot of music. Obviously, haven't had much time to listen to a ton of music, obviously since I've been at school. But now that I'm home, I've listened to a lot more. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but obviously I'm a huge, hip hop and rap guy. I usually, you know, listen to a lot of that stuff. I mean, I like it. I love the beats of it. So honestly, I'm trying to get into country as well, but it's just tough when you're so focused on one genre and you like it so much. It's tough to get into another genre when you like one so much. And honestly, like a lot of the rap artists I listen to are kind of like some of the mainstream guys, like Travis Scott, Lil Baby, Future, Lil Uzi, and other guys like that. Kind of like the mainstream guys. But I do like, Don Toliver. Listen to a lot of old Migos too. I like Kid Cudi. I like Gunna, and mainly just the mainstream guys like that. But what I mainly want to talk about is Don Toliver's new album, Hardstone Cycle, because he released this album. I listened to it for the first time, immediately when it came out. And honestly, he may have just saved my summer with this album. I mean, this is a masterpiece. Like, Kryptonite is good. Tore Up is absolutely amazing. I was jamming to that song. Brother Stone is all right. I like Too Much Kodak. I like to see them a little bit more. Attitude, obviously, I've heard it before. Bandit, we know about. Glock. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Ice Age is probably my favorite song on this one. To be honest with you, Ice Age with Travis Scott, the beat is just amazing, and this is probably my favorite one. I like 4x4 too. Purple Rain featuring Future and Metro. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Metro. Metro is like my favorite like producer in the game because of how well how well of a creative mind he is and how well he creates music with other artists. You have Deep in the Water we know about. Inside I like, and then yeah, I mean, I absolutely love this album, and I'll probably be listening to it a lot this summer and for a very long time. Honestly, I hope they blast like a lot of these songs at the bars at LSU because they need to. Some people have Spotify, some people have Apple Music, Amazon Music. I have Spotify. That's what I normally use. I have this whole playlist of like two 2,500 songs, and I just like rotate it on random just to see what I like. I also listen to this daily mix 1 and 2 playlist, which just has like a bunch of songs, like a small amount of songs on there that I listen to a lot, and then just play those on repeat because obviously that's the music I listen to. And this is also something I wanted to talk about. If someone were to ask me, like, do I listen to any female artists? Not really. I'm not really a guy that listen to female artists at all. But over the past 7-8 months or so, I've been listening to a lot of Tate McRae. Tate McRae is my celeb crush right now. Simply because like her music, it like reads your brain. Her music, like she's reading my brain. Like her lyrics read my brain, and every single lyric like that she like says, I have the response. Oh yes, I relate to this. I relate to this. Blah blah blah. But honestly, it's not even the music that I love so much about Tate. It's just her personality and what makes her a great person. What I really like about her is that she's a hockey fan. She's simply like a huge hockey fan like me. Like hockey is in her blood. She's from Calgary in Canada, so obviously she's gonna be a big hockey fan. But I didn't realize she was, that big of a hockey fan. Like it runs in her family, something like that. I mean, it's crazy to think that we're the same age. I think we're the same age. I think she's just like 6 months older than me, which is unreal to think about. And yet she has blossomed into this new pop superstar that I think a lot of people should know about. Obviously, her voice is just so angelic. Angelic. I don't know if that's even a word, but obviously, I love listening to her voice. It like calms me down sometimes, and when I first started when I first heard of when I first heard of Tate, I listened to a lot of her new album Think Later, but I started listening to her old music from like 2, 3, 4 years ago, and wow, I'm like really impressed that she's been doing this for a long time. I've seen like a bunch of clips of her singing in person, doing like acoustic versions of her songs and stuff like that. It's just absolutely beautiful, and maybe I'll get to see her on tour one day. It'll be pretty satisfying if I do, because obviously I love listening to her music, love relating to her songs, and you know hopefully she drops more. I do. People have begged her to to release more music, but obviously we got to give her time. She's only 20, traveling the world. She just finished like her world tour, something like that. I can't imagine how exhausted she must be, especially for someone her age, traveling that much. Yeah, we just got to give her time, but hopefully she releases new music soon. All right, let's do a little sports talk now, because this is something that I always look forward to doing. Let's start with the Utah Hockey Club. So it came down to 8 names for the community to vote on what they're going to name their team. And honestly, I felt like it could have gone either way of the 8, because if you have one name, you're going to spark a debate on on what the team name should be, because obviously not every single fan is going to agree with this team name. It could have been the Yeti. I mean, people wanted to be the Storm and Mormons or something like that, the Storm or whatever. But the community decided to go with Utah Hockey Club, and simply put, I think this is lazy. I think it's lazy by them to come up with the Utah Hockey Club, because it's basically the Washington football team all over again. They could have picked any other name besides Hockey Club, and I would have been fine with that. The fact that they went Hockey Club shows that they're not really ready to be in the NHL yet. Like Utah is not really ready to have hockey in their city. Like look here, the names that are still in contention are the Mammoth, Yeti, Outlaws, Blizzard, and Venom. I would have accepted all of those. But Hockey Club, I think it's just lazy. And I mean, I know it's only for this year, but they could have picked something a lot better. In terms of that team, you have a team that did well as the Arizona Coyotes that did well for like the first quarter of the season, but then kind of crumbled. So you have a promising roster with a lot of young players, but it just might take time to develop. So, they may not be that good next year, but hopefully in the future they can rise to the level we hope they can be. Let's talk about the Stanley Cup final. I mean, it's 3-0 Panthers. They're going to look to close it out tonight. I just felt like the Oilers weren't really ready in the Stanley Cup final. They've gotten bullied. They've actually gotten bullied in this series, and the Panthers, they're just too good. They're just too well rounded. They have one of the best all around players in the world, Alexander Barkov, who's just been an absolute monster this series and entire playoffs. And you have like Matthew Tkachuk and Carter Verhaeghe have been kind of quiet. They haven't been superheroes that they were before. Obviously Evan Rodriguez with 3 goals in games 1 and 2 combined. He was a huge difference. Someone I don't think who scored all postseason before the Stanley Cup final. So that's great for him to get on the scoreboard there. But obviously, the real hero in this series is Sergei Bobrovsky. Like I said, before, we were calling his contract one of the worst in hockey. And now that the fact that he is 1 win away from the Stanley Cup, it just shows how hard he's worked to get to this point. He was probably a Hall of Famer already, but if he wins the Stanley Cup, he's likely definitely getting into the Hall of Fame. I mean, his resume is just off the charts. And how old is he? Like 34, 35? Like he probably still has plenty left in the tank after this. Like I can guarantee you he has a lot more years to go even after this season. But the Florida Panthers themselves, they're just too good. And like I said in the last episode, they have a style that wears you down more and more. Now, the third period of game 3, that was scary. Third period of game 3, that was very uncharacteristic by the Panthers to play the way that they did, especially in those final 10 minutes. And thank God that they escaped that game, because I felt like they didn't deserve to win that game because of how poorly they played in the third period. They are a third period team, and like they were -2 in that third period in game 3. That's very unusual. Like obviously they have the best third period differential in the league in the regular season and playoffs. So I'm very interested to watch that third period to see how the Panthers come out better, and hopefully hopefully they'll end up winning and bringing the first ever Stanley Cup to South Florida. South Florida celebrating a Stanley Cup parade. I don't think. I mean, we've never seen that in our lives, and we'll finally get to see it. On the other side, though, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl have not been good in this series, and I just feel like, are they tired? Are they tired? Like they've been on this road for so long. Like they outlasted the Kings. They had a grueling series with the Canucks. They fought against the Dallas Stars, which probably took a lot out them. And although I did feel like they played really well in game 1, they were just stonewalled by Bobrovsky. They did not play well in game 2. And then that second period in game 3 just killed them. Like I really felt like they had a chance to win game 3, but unfortunately they still lost. And I think the Oilers do get one, but I do think they have no chance in coming back this series unless a disaster goes the Panthers' way and every single thing goes right for the Oilers. But it's going to be tough for them. I'm also very interested to see if the Panthers have that killer instinct. Let's say, hey, let's get the series over with. We're done. We want that cup. In terms of the NBA Finals, it's 3-1 Boston. Dallas dominated Game 4 to just stay alive. Listen, Luka Doncic is one of the greatest players and one of the greatest players, talent and skill wise, we've ever seen. But in these finals, he's let his team down, especially in Game 3. just jawing at the officials constantly, not playing the game and fouling out with over 4 minutes to go. I honestly felt like the Mavericks could have won Game 3 if Luka stays in the game. In fact, they could have won Game 2 as well. They had a chance to win Game 2. Like, this series could easily be 2-1 or 3-1 in the Mavs' favor, but they just choked. And Boston has that championship pedigree that allows them to be in that moment. They have guys that can make clutch buckets, and although that Derek White block, that Derek White game-saving block in Game 2 was a foul. I don't know why. I mean, instant replay showed that it was a foul, and unfortunately they didn't call it. But this series could have easily been the Mavericks' way if they just do not choke. If Luka and Kyrie make a couple more shots. If Kyrie does not play like absolute shit in Boston in games 1 and 2, felt like they could have had a much better chance. But now they have to accomplish something that hasn't been done in NBA history, which is come back down 3-0 in a series. They dominated Game 4, so that's a start. But in Game 5, they're going to have to play like that in Boston, and we know how hard that is. So I'm very interested to see how the Mavericks come out, and it's just another closeout game for the Celtics. I mean, hopefully they can. We'll see if they have that killer instinct to close it out at home, because I know they're going to want that championship at home. So we'll see how both teams come out. Baseball talk. The New York Yankees are the first team in the MLB to 50 wins. As a Yankees fan, I'm very, very happy with this team's progress. It's just recently an Alex Verdugo game against the Red Sox. Man, that felt good. He had 4 RBIs against his former team, which is brilliant. Fuck the Red Sox. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan. Obviously, I hate the Red Sox, but can't really expose my bias too much. You know what I mean? But I just really, really hope they. The thing I'm looking for in the Yankees is just consistency. Win the series you're supposed to win. And hopefully Garrett Cole comes back strong, and he's off to that Cy Young caliber we saw last season. But talk about consistency. You just can't have like a bad stretch. Like, championship contenders, if you're gonna call yourself a championship contender, you can't have a bad stretch. Like, you got to have consistent. Like, this can't be 2022 all over again. They were the best team in baseball by far going into the All-Star break, and then they just absolutely crumbled in the second half. The Astros passed to them. The Mets had a better record than the Yankees after that season. It was terrible. So hopefully this Yankee season does not wind up like 2022. I'm betting at all that. And the reason why I don't think this is going to happen is simply Juan Soto. Juan Soto single-handedly is making this team a championship team. I know you have other sluggers. You have Aaron Judge. You have Giancarlo. You have Alex Verdugo hitting bombs. You have Torres and Volpe have been great. You need Juan Soto has near single-handedly transformed this team into a championship contender. That was not there last year. It's really just the energy he brings. Just the energy he brings to the team. I'm very excited to watch him throughout the remainder of the season and hopefully into the playoffs, because playoff Juan Soto is different. So we'll see. But again, all about consistency, and hopefully they continue to win consistently, and hopefully that pitching staff can keep up, because they didn't do that last year or 2 years ago in the second half. So another thing baseball related I want to talk about is the College World Series, because obviously I go to LSU and we won the national championship last year in Omaha. Omaha is such a great place for the College World Series, simply because, I mean, it's obviously been there since 1950, but it's just part of a tradition, and that's why it's great. But if you remember last year, the College World Series was utter insanity. You had walk-offs, clutch hits, just incredible games, something like that. Obviously, it was a bit of an anticlimactic ending. You had 2 blowouts at the end, but it was fortunate for us since we won the championship. But this College World Series, so if you guys don't know, the College World Series this year features North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Florida State, Florida, Texas A&M, Kentucky, and North Carolina State. There were two games played last night. Both of them were walk-offs, North Carolina and the Tar Heels and Tennessee. That Florida State-Tennessee game was utter insanity. The Vols came back down 9-4, and they were down 11-8. 11-8 with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, and they came roaring back to win it. It was Christian Moore and Blake Burke were the heroes, and oh yes, Christian Moore, just the second player in College World Series history to produce a cycle. Definitely, he's going to definitely be a first round pick, and I can't wait to see him in the big leagues. But if there's any indication that, I mean, obviously last year's World Series was great. Judging from the way that the first 2 games played out in this year's College World Series, this one this year is going to be absolutely insane. Like at the time of recording this, Kentucky and North Carolina State are playing right now, and then later that night it'll be Texas A&M and Florida, and the winners of those games will play each other, and the losers will play each other. And yeah, this is only my second year watching college baseball, so hopefully I get to not really know the game, because obviously I know the game really well, just know the players a little bit more. And that's something I'm really trying to get better at, is knowing players a little bit more, how good they are, and their draft stock, because obviously a lot of those players I mean, not a ton of those players get drafted, but a good amount do. So, I mean, I know I say not a ton, but in the MLB draft, you have like 19, 20 rounds and stuff like that. So, players are constantly drafted out of college and even out of high school. So, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, looking forward to this College World Series. Very, very excited for it. And it's crazy. Only 2 teams there have won the national championship, which is kind of absurd to think about, because it's 4 SEC and 4 ACC. It's only Florida and Virginia that have won national championships, and the rest have not. So we're probably going to get a brand new national champion this year, which will be pretty hyped to see. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about is kind of like what a day in my life looks like at LSU. We're going to take like a Friday, for example, because that's usually when I am the most active. So I wake up pretty early, around 8 a.m., 8 a.m., 8:30, around between 8 and 9. Obviously, I do a quick 5 to 10 minute workout of like push-ups, jumping jacks, and stuff like that to maybe get myself going and make sure I'm not, super tired during the day. Obviously I still am tired during the day, but it is what it is. Then I wash up, and get dressed, and then I go, and then I go get breakfast. It's usually eggs, and no, it's not eggs. It's an omelet. It's an omelet. Sorry, and the omelet usually contains ham, turkey, and cheese, and bacon. I like my meats. And I don't really like vegetables in my omelet, because I just don't like the flavor of it. Yeah, so breakfast, and then I'll keep in mind, this is a Friday during last semester, so I don't have a lot of classes on Friday. I only have 2 classes that I go to on Friday during last semester, but it's breakfast, and then sometimes I would go to the library, or sometimes I'd go to our LSU Student Union to just kind of study, do some homework for a little bit, and then I go to Spanish class. I would have a Spanish class around close to the afternoon, and then there's that, and then after Spanish, I would go straight to lunch. When what I have for lunch is usually some kind of salad, and just whatever they serve at the dining hall. They serve a variety of different things at the dining hall. They'll serve Cajun pasta. They'll serve like pork or something like that. There's this lo mein area where I get like pasta, and where I get like spaghetti with meat, and vegetables, and it's very, very good. And yeah, I know I eat the same things all the time, but I try to keep it a little consistent. You know what I mean? But after lunch, I would just kind of walk around, and I would go to our newsroom to just kind of hang out with my friends and stuff like that. But then I would have literature. I'd have or English. I'd like to call it. I took English 2000 last semester, and yes, that was the class where I wrote that 2,000 word essay on the controversies of Greek life. I think I did a pretty good job. It got an A plus, so very happy about that. And I was honestly very surprised that essay got an A plus. I didn't think it would get an A plus, but even my professor said, like after she read it and the committee that grades all the papers read it, they agreed that it was an A plus, and so yeah, very, very satisfied about that. But after English, I would go back to my apartment and then immediately change into some workout clothes and then go to the gym for around an hour, hour and a half, stuff like that. I'm usually not there for very too long because one of my friends told me I don't have to be there for so long. And just keep it light, but also go 100%. Keep it light, but go 100% as well, to just stay consistent and make sure you're not tiring yourself out too much. Make sure you're not hurting yourself, and yeah, and go to the gym, and then Smoothie King right after. I get a smoothie because what's a workout without a smoothie at the end? You know what I mean? And then I go back. Then I go back to my apartment, just chill out for a bit. Obviously, do some homework. Do some homework too. I mean, obviously, I'm very, very busy with a lot of my classes, so I try to get my homework done as best I can. And then dinner um, at around maybe 6:30, 7. It would be the same thing as lunch. It'd be like a salad, and then some meat, and then and then some pasta. But yeah, and then during late in the semester, postseason action was going on. So for instance, I would go back to my apartment and watch some postseason action, whether it be NBA or Stanley Cup. Obviously, there is nothing like the postseason in basketball and hockey. It's obviously one of my favorite times of the year. So was very engaged in that. I have multiple screens going on, and that's very, very useful. My day would finish, or my Friday would finish with me going out. I'd either go to the house or JL's, or those are the two main bars I go to. But it usually ends with going out. I go out by myself. I meet my friends there, and yeah, just have a good time. We'll get more into going out stories later. I just wanted to explain to you guys what a day in my life looks like. And yeah, honestly, I can't really think of like absolutely crazy moments like when I have gone out. It's usually pretty calm for me, if I do say so myself. I mean, obviously, you have other people who have like crazy shit happen to them. I have some friends, who have we've gone through it, gone through it a little bit, and hopefully they can share some of their stories when we can get them on this podcast. But obviously, we're all different, and I'm different from all of them, and my I don't really have like too like that crazy stories, but if I can come up with some, I will let you know, and we'll do a little story time. I mean, that's really what this podcast is about, is sharing our stories. So all right, guys, that is going to do it for episode 2 of the Yap House podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and also share it with many, many people, because we're trying to get this podcast going, get a lot of traction with this thing, and hopefully this podcast can grow and grow and grow as we go along, and hopefully I'll have some guests on here soon. But just a reminder, new episodes every Sunday night. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Storm.